Hey, I'm Alice. Welcome to Facts That Surprise Even the Smartest Among Us. Today we're exploring something that feels almost supernatural, like the universe is eavesdropping. Ever been talking about someone, and then, bam, they suddenly send you a message? It's freaky, right? But is it just coincidence? Or is there science behind it? I've got Smarty here with me to help explain.
I am Smarty. And Alice, this is one of those everyday mysteries that feels magical, but actually has some really cool explanations rooted in psychology and how our brains handle information. That moment when someone you just mentioned suddenly messages you, it's not telepathy, it's perception and a little bit of math.
Wait, you're telling me it's not the universe trying to be dramatic?
Sadly, no cosmic conspiracy here. What we're really experiencing is something called selective attention, and a few cognitive biases, like the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, confirmation bias, and frequency illusion, all working together.
Hold up, Bader, what?
Let's unpack that. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is also known as the frequency illusion. It happens when you learn or notice something new, and suddenly, you see it everywhere. Like when you learn a new word, and then hear it 3 more times that day.
Oh yeah! Or when you start looking at a certain kind of car, and then see it constantly.
Exactly. It's not that the thing is suddenly more common. It's that your brain is now tuned in. You're paying attention to something you used to ignore. The same thing happens with these "someone I mentioned just texted me" moments.
So, it probably happens all the time, but I only notice when it matches?
Bingo. That's confirmation bias. Your brain remembers the hits and forgets the misses. You might talk about 20 different people this week, and only one of them sends a message soon after. But that one time stands out and feels meaningful.
Okay, but what about the timing? Like, sometimes it's seconds after I said their name.
Great point. That's where coincidence and pattern recognition come in. Humans are hardwired to look for patterns. It helped us survive recognizing danger, weather changes, or food sources. But our brains sometimes see patterns where none exist, especially in random events.
So my brain is basically shouting, aha, when it catches a coincidence?
Exactly. And because it feels so unexpected and perfect, your brain tags it as special. You tell friends about it, it becomes a story, and now your perception of how often it happens is skewed.
This is so sneaky. I feel like my brain is tricking me on purpose.
Not on purpose. It's just trying to simplify a chaotic world. But let's go deeper. Technology plays a role too.
Oh, like what?
Well, messaging apps often show active now or typing indicators. Sometimes the person you're talking about was already on their phone. Maybe they saw your name in a group chat or scrolled past your post. That subtle exposure could have triggered them to message you, without them realizing why.
So we might both be thinking about each other at the same time? But not in a psychic way?
Exactly. Just shared context and habits. And because we all have smartphones, notifications, and algorithms showing us similar things, we're connected in ways that make coincidences more likely.
Now that you say it, it makes total sense, but it still feels weird.
That's part of the magic of the human brain. Even when we know the logic, the emotional impact stays. It's kind of beautiful, really.
Okay, let's talk numbers. Is there a way to calculate how likely this is?
Actually, yes. Statistically, if you talk about dozens of people per week and message with dozens too, it's almost inevitable that overlaps will happen. It's called the law of truly large numbers. Given enough chances, coincidences become guaranteed.
Whoa, so the more people I interact with, the more likely I'll experience these weird moments?
Exactly. And if you're socially active or work in a connected environment, you're in the perfect zone for these coincidences to happen all the time.
I feel like my brain just got upgraded.
Mission accomplished.
So how should we deal with these moments? Should we still be amazed?
Absolutely. Just because we understand the science doesn't mean we can't appreciate the wonder. Life is full of surprises, and understanding why they happen can make them even more fascinating.
Okay, Smarty, one last question. Does this mean the universe isn't listening to me?
Well, not in a spooky way, but in a very real way. Your attention shapes your reality. What you focus on becomes more visible. That's a kind of power and kind of beautiful.
Thanks, Smarty. I think we all have a better understanding now of why coincidences like these happen, and how our brains make meaning from chaos.
Always a pleasure, Alice. Now I just need someone to mention me so I can get a message too.
And to all our listeners, next time someone texts you right after you say their name, smile. You just caught your brain doing something clever. Thanks for listening, and stay curious. We've got more surprising stories on the way.